Greetings, friends, Steven here, and welcome to, well, it looks like we're doing another game collection video. I haven't done one of these in a while. The last one I did was, I was taking a look at some of my Super Nintendo games that I basically just had all over my floor. And now it looks like I've got, well, I've got a guard robot here, but I've also got a couple boxes. The other day on Twitter, I was, fun thing about Twitter is that it's just the place to go when you have just stupid random thoughts that you just don't want to, you know, say to anyone, but just say to everyone, if that makes any sense. And I was saying it'd sure be fun to play an R-Type game. I was gonna look for R-Type Final on the PS2, but then I decided if I just played R-Types for the PS1, I could actually play it on my PS3, and I wouldn't have to hook up my PS2 again. So, that is the backstory, but now I am now looking for a game R-Types for the PS1. I'll move the guard robot out of the way, and I figured I might as well take a look at my PlayStation 1 game collection. Of course, fans of the channel here know that I love to do the pickups videos, and you might wonder often why the games I pick up maybe not are super amazing or interesting. They're usually just games I pick up because I don't have them yet. And the thing is, I have a lot of video games, as we're going to take a look at here today. So I've got two paper boxes here full of PS1 games. Now the game we're looking for is R-Types, but I figured it'd be fun to take a look at what else I have in the meantime. So I've got, these are actually more or less in order, but these ones on the top are just games I don't have space for. Parappa the Rapper, great game. Kind of a, yeah, man, the memories. Kind of a pioneer game in the music rhythm genre. Not maybe as much as something like Beatmania or DDR, but just a very unique game. Spawned a few sequels, of course. Parappa 2 on the PS2 and Jammer Lammy. Yeah, we got Bushido Blade. Looks like I paid a whole $2.99 for that. And these are pretty cool games. I'd love to see a PS3 or PS4 Bushido Blade. These quote-unquote realistic samurai games where you can run around and like cut people's arms off, or at least just damage them in interesting ways. Very cool game. Oh, Street Fighter Alpha 3 for $3, pretty sweet too. Street Fighter EX Plus Alpha, Street Fighter EX 2 Plus. Another game for $3. Nice. Actually, this one's pretty cool. This one's cool too. Of course, you got your Final Fantasy. I'm sure that's all in there. $10, pretty reasonable deal. Final Fantasy, that's 9, of course. Final Fantasy 8 for $15. I'm sure it's all in there. Little crack. They're both the Greatest Hits Collector's Edition, or Greatest Hits Regular Edition, whatever. But, you know, I'm just fine with that, as long as the game works. Oh, what else we got here? We got a couple of the long box instruction manuals for some reason in here. Toshinden. Remember Toshinden? What happened to that series? I guess they could bring it back. Every other fighting game seems to be coming back these days. I know they just announced Killer Instinct on the Xbox One. Yeah, I don't think I'll be wanting an Xbox One. Of course, Darkstalkers, and these games just came back too on the on all the Xbox Live or PSN or whatever. You got your Dragon Ball, Final Fantasy Chronicles. This was a pretty sweet deal. You're getting your Chrono Trigger and your Final Fantasy 4 in one collection. This game is god awful, but it was one of the first Dragon Ball games that actually bothered to bring to the US, so I guess it won out by default. And you got your Tenchu 2, your Jammer Lammy, as mentioned before when I was discussing Parappa, and of course Chrono Cross. A lot of people don't like this game, but I don't understand why, because I thought it was pretty good. I guess they just missed the original Chrono Trigger style. Didn't like that they were actually trying something new for a change. Well, that's too bad for you, because this is a great game. Fun fact about Chrono Cross is you can run away from any battle at any time. You can run away from the last boss battle. It's hilarious. Oh, alright, so here we are. I'll just bring some of them out. Maybe I'll name them off if something's actually interesting. I got Ace Combat 2 and 3, Akuji the Heartless, Alone in the Dark, that was a great game. Ape Escape, great game. Arcade Party Pack, that's cool. Smash TV, Rampage, some classics for sure. Oh, Here we have Asteroids for some reason. I don't even remember ever playing this game, but you know, it's in there. That's fine. Ball Breakers, Bass Landing, Big Ol' Bass, Fisherman's Bait 2. These games are actually kind of fun. I have the controller that you need to play these, or at least to enjoy them with the fishing controller. And I think that control actually came with Bass Landing here. Not the worst games out there. They're pretty reasonable. Then we got Blaster Master 2, no, Blaster Master Blasting again for $2.99. This is actually still sealed. That's pretty funny. EB Games sealed, that is. Obviously that means I haven't played it yet. Here's a couple gems. We got Bloody Roar 1 and 2. Looks like I bought them for $10 each. This one hasn't been opened yet, so that's still sealed. I wonder if that's worth anything. Maybe. Great games. I would like to see Bloody Roar make a comeback. And Bloody Roar 2. Now, this is open, but something I used to do back in the day is I would cut the sticker out of the plastic and just leave it in there, just so I would know how much I spent for it. I was a pretty anal kid growing up, I admit it. Great game. Put out by Hudson. That's cool. Unfortunately, Hudson has been devoured by Konami, and I don't know if they'll do anything more with the Bloody Roar series. Oh, what do we got here? We got Brave Fencer Musashi, which is actually only one disc. Kind of a hard game. Pretty neat though. Kind of like a little bit like a Zelda game. And you got your board game Top Shop. It's funny that this is here for $5. Not a bad game. It's kind of like Monopoly. What was her name? Well, whatever. I'll get back to that when I remember someone's name. Breath of Fire 3. That's a great game. Surprisingly rough story in that game. Not that it's a bad story. It's just a very rough time that the characters go through in Breath of Fire. Bubble featuring Rainbow Islands. That's pretty cool. $3. Sweet deal. Oh, Bushido Blade 2. Just in its own little thing there. Now these next three games are some of my personal favorite rhythm games. Bust a Move 2 for $24.99 apparently. And just for lulz, Bust a Move, the Japanese version of Bust a Groove. Now here's a fun fact for you guys. My channel name, Capoeira Maxima, the Capoeira is actually based on this character here, the alien guy from the Bust a Move, Bust a Groove series, who is also named Capoeira. Actually here it's spelled Capoeira. Interesting. Have I spelled my name wrong this whole time? Nah, probably not. Whatever, it's fine. My channel still has 0 Capoeira footage on it. Go figure. Castlevania Symphony of the Night. You pretty much have to own this game if you have any PlayStation. It's kind of one of the best games. Chocobo Racing, another Chrono Cross, Clock Tower, Countdown Vampires, Crash Bandicoot, DDR, Danger Girl. This might be a pretty rare game. I think I beat this game. It was okay for its time. I love the art. The original comic series. Excellent art. And further down we get... Let me just move this camera a bit. Oh, Lunar 2. Yeah, we got Dave Mirra, Dino Crisis, Dirt Jockey. What is this? Yes. $4.99. Never played this one. There is another game in here that I did play, and I will definitely bring it up when we get to it. And you got your Driver 2 back up top here. There's a Pac-Man just up the top of the screen there. Pac-Man plush of all things. Duke Nukem Time to Kill, which was kind of neat. Oh, like a third-person Duke Nukem game. These weren't awful, just kind of weird. But more or less fun, I guess. Fighting Force. I could see this coming back too. This is like a Streets of Rage or Final Fight, but in 3D sort of game. Wasn't so bad. And of course that game everyone seems to love so much, Final Fantasy VII. Personally, I never saw the big deal with the Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, I don't know, just, I remember when it came out, I was kind of disgusted that it wasn't, like, pixely. Instead it was, like, polygons, and I never liked the look of polygons, especially in these earlier games. You know me, I'm just such a 2D hipster, I guess. Final Fantasy Anthology, which comes with Final Fantasy 5 and 6. That's a cool deal. Of course, got another Final Fantasy 9 over here, Final Fantasy Tactics. Looks to be another import game, Gamera 2000. That's cool. Oh, Gekio, sweet. It's a shmup by Natsume for $3. Actually, I might give this a play later on. This isn't R-Types, which is the game we were originally looking for, but I'll be back for this one later. This one here, we got Ghost in the Shell. Surprise, surprise, this has nothing to do with Makoto so much as it is all just you running around in these spider tanks, which actually makes for a pretty cool game. I like this game. Gran Turismo 2, The Italian Job. Fun movie, fun game. Thank God it was based on the original movie and not that remake. Remake wasn't awful, but the original movie is much better in my opinion and worth watching. We got Jade Cocoon. It's kind of cool. Studio Ghibli art meets Pokemon, but they're all like bug Pokemon basically. Pretty neat game. Jigsaw Madness, Jungle Book, Rhythm and Groove, Jump and Flash 2. This was a great series. Once again, I'd love to see this come back in any form in any current gen system. Great game. First person jumper, I would call it. Next up, Kagero Deception 2 for apparently $14.95. This is a pretty badass game too. You play as this girl who really can't defend herself, but you have control over this mansion, and you just set booby traps and you just watch things happen. It's kind of like the board game Mousetrap, except the mouse are people and you are killing all the people. Very cool game. Multiple endings too. Of course, my beloved King of Fighters series got 95 there. 95 was a good year for King of Fighters. And King of Fighters 99. This was less, not as good. This game was everywhere though. When this came out, it was on every system, especially Dreamcast. I don't know why they put so much effort into 99. 98 was superior in my opinion. Kudelka, game by SNK, RPG, never really played it. After that, we got Legend of Dragoon, PS1. I know the fan base really enjoyed this, but I doubt we'll ever see any further Legend of Dragoon games. So now we got Legend of Mana. Cool game. Looks like I paid $17.95 for it back in the day. I dropped it. Cool art, great music. The actual gameplay could have been a bit tighter. I never felt like you were really connecting your attacks with the monsters. But, pretty sweet game nonetheless. And of course we got Lunar 2. Or Eternal Blue Complete. Now this is a collector's edition. Look at all that crap in there. I have opened this. I started playing it. I didn't get too far in it just because I guess I lost interest. Maybe the PS2 came out or something. Pretty sweet series though. I've heard bad things about that Lunar on the DS, but this is an amazing collector's edition. I'm not opening it. I don't want to open it. It would make too much of a mess. And the last game in the box here. X-Men vs. Street Fighter. That's cool. Alrighty. I guess that about does it for my, what is this, A to M PS1 games, not counting these things on the top that are in here just because I kind of ran out of space. Alrighty. Put it back in the vault. Although, like I said, I might actually play that Gekio game just because, like I said at the start, I'm looking for a shoot-'em-up sort of game. And yeah, I'm going to actually end this video here, and I will make a part 2 when we will look at the box here that is slightly off camera. But stay tuned for that. If there's any game there that you saw that you were just like, what the f, he's got that game is worth such and such dollars, let me know in the comments, because I'd love to know what the price on some of those games be it eBay prices or whatever collectors are paying for games these days. Let me know in the comments. Otherwise, yep, stay tuned for part 2 where we'll look at the next box. Thanks for watching.